You spit in a tube. You wanted to find your great-grandmother, a name, a country, a story you never got told. That was the whole pitch. Then the company that held your spit went bankrupt. And your genetic code, the most personal thing about you, the thing that is literally you, became an asset, a line item, something to liquidate to pay the creditors. 15 million people's DNA went on the auction block, and the law did not stop it. The law shrugged. Walk through what actually happened. In March 2025, 23andMe declared bankruptcy. The database, 15 million people. Their ancestry, their health risks, their raw genetic data. And in July 2025, a bankruptcy court approved the sale. $305 million. That is the number they put on the genetic profiles of 15 million human beings. Roughly $20 a person for the code that decides how you age, what you might get sick from, who you are related to, and who bought it. Here is where you laugh so you do not scream. The buyer was a nonprofit, the TTAM Research Institute, led by Anne Wojcicki, the co-founder of 23andMe, the same person. Same hands, new wrapper. The company collapses, the founder buys back the most valuable thing it ever held, the customer's DNA, through a fresh nonprofit shell, and everyone calls it a rescue. It is the same person holding your genome. They just changed the logo. Now layer on the part most people forgot. There was a breach. Back in 2023, hackers got into the accounts of 6.9 million users. And on June 15, 2026, the people hit by that breach were set to start receiving a settlement. $46.75 million split among the victims. So follow the money. Your DNA gets exposed, then sold, and you get a settlement check that works out to pennies on the genome. The data is gone, the check is a tip. Here is the line that should end the argument. Legal scholars looked at this and said the existing laws are ill-equipped. Privacy law, bankruptcy law, bioethics, all of it. Ill-equipped to stop sensitive genetic data from being transferred through a bankruptcy court like a warehouse of folding chairs. That is not a loophole. Somebody snuck through. That is the entire system admitting it has no answer for the question, who owns your DNA when the company holding it dies? And your genome is not a password you can change. It is your kid's code too, and their kids. You cannot revoke it, reset it, or take it back. Once it is in a database that goes up for sale, it is in the world forever, and so are they. And the proof is in the panic afterward. Congress reached for a brand new bill, the Don't Sell My DNA Act, bipartisan, which sounds great until you realize what its existence confirms. There was no law stopping the sale, none. If there had been, you would not need a new one. The bill is a confession. It says, out loud, that for years there was nothing standing between your genome and the auctioneer except a privacy policy you click through without reading. So what do you take from this besides never spitting in a tube again? The deeper thing, you did not lose your DNA in a hack. You lost it the moment you agreed that a company could hold it for you. Custody is the whole game. The second your most private data lives on someone else's server, under someone else's terms, it can be breached, sold, or handed to a court when they go under. The privacy policy you click through is not a wall. It is a wish. It binds nobody when the lawyers and the creditors walk in. You cannot trust a promise that evaporates in a courtroom. You can only trust the kind of ownership that does not transfer just because a company died. They sold the blueprint of 15 million lives for the price of a used car each, and the only thing the law could do was nod. You wanted to find your great-grandmother. Instead, you found out exactly how little your own body is worth on a creditor's spreadsheet. Wake up is not the slogan. It is the moment you stop handing the most private thing you own to a company and trusting it to stay theirs to protect. It never was. If this made you angry, hold on to it. I put the ownership stuff into practice with MXEL, where what is yours stays yours and earns you a stake instead of getting auctioned off. That is the ownership stuff in practice, MXEL at mxl.com. Stay loud.